Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu diesem Interview. Und ja, falls du dich jetzt fragst, welches Interview? Da gab es gar kein Video dazu. Das stimmt, das ist mal was Besonderes. Wir sind kontaktiert worden auf das Projekt Phoenix. Dann haben wir uns das mal angeschaut. Und ich sage es gleich dazu, da mag vielleicht auch so die ein oder andere kritischere Frage mit dabei sein. Aber alles in allem, wenn man sich die Plattform mal anschaut, hört sich das Ganze doch durchaus vielversprechend an, weil das Projekt ein definitiv sehr wichtiges Problem lösen möchte. Und das schauen wir uns jetzt gemeinsam mal an, weil wir haben uns gleich einfach direkt das Team eingeladen. Und je nachdem, wie die Resonanz so kommt, wir können gleich anteasern, da passiert sowas in den nächsten Tagen und Wochen, dann machen wir doch einfach nochmal ein separates Review drüber und zeigen euch das Ganze. Aber jetzt seid erstmal gespannt, mega spannend in diesem Interview. Auf unserem Kanal findest du spannende neue Projekte, du findest News zur aktuellen Marktlage und die faktenbasierte Analyse von Scams. Wenn dich die Themen interessieren, dann lass auf jeden Fall schon mal ein Abo da, ganz wichtig. Und falls du auf der Suche bist, gerade so was das Thema Bank Service, Payment Solution in Kombination mit einer Exchange, die auch sämtliche Lizenzen hat und so weiter und so fort bist, dann solltest du dir vielleicht Globians mal anschauen. Klick dich mal hier rein, auch das Interview mit dem Founder, ziemlich coole Geschichte. Klick mal hier und jetzt starten wir ins Interview. Was ich jetzt eingangs noch ganz vergessen habe zu sagen, das Interview wird auf Englisch sein, ist aber kein Problem. Die Technik macht es hier möglich. Deswegen, wenn du sagst, boah, Englisch, verstehe ich jetzt nicht so ganz, dann stell mal bitte unten einfach den Subtitle von YouTube auf Deutsch und dann kannst du auch alles mitlesen bzw. mithören. Und für alle anderen bleibt einfach dran, aber wir werden jetzt auf jeden Fall ins Englische switchen. Thank you for your time. It's a pleasure for me because we never talked about this project in the past. And so I think before we start with the questions, can you please introduce yourself and the project briefly?
Absolutely. Thank you, Daniel, for having me. I really appreciate it. And I know that normally your community is expecting content in German. And I do speak German, actually. So I'm sure in the future we will have more opportunities to give you updates in German. These early videos that we're doing about our project as we inform our community, which is mainly English speaking, we have requested to do in English. So I do appreciate your community pressing on the translate button. And yes, so my name is Kay Kamani. I am based in London and I run and I co-founded a venture capital firm called Hatchworks. You can go to hatchworksvc.com and see our projects. And we have been creating financial technologies across a range of sectors. Amongst other things that we do, we invest also across a range of sectors as well. Around 2 years ago, we looked at specifically liquidity mining, liquidity farming, and the state of crypto, which is in a state of disarray. Still, regulations are still early, although there has been some progress. It does seem it's always 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And especially when it comes to yield and staking yield, consumers have been burnt very badly. A lot of you who have been staking with some major protocols in the US, I won't mention any names for legal reasons, they ended up going bankrupt. I hope you got your money back. But a lot of the problem that has traditionally been in crypto when it comes to earning yields is that the yield is just not sustainable. Yes, you can get very high levels of yield. You can get yield in tokens. You can get yields even in USDC or USDT. But unfortunately, when yield starts to climb to unrealistic levels like 40, 50, 60, 70%, that's when the serious risk starts to set in because you don't know the source of the yield. What Phoenix is doing is we're literally getting rid of all the crap and we are allowing you to generate yield on your capital based on a very real source of revenue. And I'll tell you more about that.
Yeah, it sounds really, really interesting because I think this is a huge problem. The people only hear passive income. Oh, yeah. But no one asks, hey, where's the money from? And this is
exactly
a really, really big problem. First question from my side. I clicked on the link, looked at the website and read something about please download the file. And oh my God. In the past, we had a lot of trouble with some projects like, hey, download this play to earn game, and then it was a phishing mail, and at the end the file was damaging all your wallets. And
of course,
this is a really big problem. And So I think this is a very important question for me, but also for my community.
Sure.
Why do users need to download a file to use the Phoenix service?
No, it's a very fair question. And as we also had a small discussion about this before, is Phoenix, the app that you see now, is the product of significant investment and time spent on developing a social trading platform, actually 2 years ago. So our team created this app. It was a standalone social trading platform that would allow people to invest and follow a range of buy and sell strategies, algorithmic and discretionary. That did not work out. We actually had a beta test group of 34 testers, and we pivoted the product towards liquidity mining because actually we found out that that's a much safer source of risk-adjusted yield that you can earn, and it's more stable. So because we had that, we said, okay, we already have this platform that we've built. It was Mac-based, PC-based. Do we really now wait 6-7 months and do a web-based platform and launch that first and do this? We said, time to market is important. So in May of this year, April, May of this year, we just launched the app, and we told our community, by the way, we have 80 users already, and that's growing slowly. We've told them that we understand your feedback. We understand that you don't trust downloadable apps because normally it's malware. So give us time and we'll develop a web-based version that works on your mobile phone and also, of course, more modern browsers on your PC and Mac and whatever. So the good news is that I think in around 2 weeks from now or 3 weeks from now, you'll be able to actually log in online on Phoenix, or just log in using your mobile phone browser and use the product that way. You don't have to download anything. Personally, I'm old school. I'm over 40 years old. I don't associate apps with scam. I mean, if I look at some of the best apps in crypto, even the Gnosis one or the multi-sig one, there's a range of apps that are created very well in crypto. And, you know, that's where a lot of crypto is also stored. But I totally understand that also there are so many phishing apps, so much malware. And so it's a risky path for someone who doesn't know us, who doesn't know our team over the years to take. One thing I have to say is that the process of getting a Mac or PC app on the App Store, on the actual Apple App Store and the Google Play Store, takes a lot of time. It can take up to 6 months. And it's not just a process of them approving it, but it's also Apple code signing the app, and they go through the app to see if it has any malware. The good news is 2 weeks ago, we actually had that approved by Apple. So for Apple users, it is completely malware-free. It's been attested by Apple. For PC, we're getting that done as well. However, I would tell your community to wait. You know, there's no need to rush and download the app. Wait till the web version is out in a few weeks and use that.
That sounds really good. That means we have 2 opportunities.
Yes.
First opportunity now to start, and the other side is, okay, we wait till the web version. Okay,
absolutely.
I completely understand. I also talked to a lot of projects in the past, and this problem with apps and Apple Store and
it's a nightmare.
This licenses, it's really, really hard to get. I think the most problem is Apple, not Google Play. I think
Apple is bigger. Yes, Apple is a bigger problem. Yes.
Yeah, but really crazy. Yeah, this is a huge problem in the crypto space. Still a lot of scams. You see it in my background.
Yes.
But on the other side, we have the opportunity to save investors' money, and so it's also a good thing, but it's still a big problem. Yeah.
For sure.
Next question, and I think this is also very, very interesting. There are a lot of yield platforms, and everywhere you can earn money, but what makes you different from other yield platforms, and why should an investor use Phoenix?
Okay, it's a very fair question. So firstly, the yield is paid in USDC, which is at today the most regulated and well-recognized stablecoin when it comes to stability, right? They are backed one-to-one, audited reserves, and I believe now even with BlackRock. So what you are earning is a real fungible currency that you can convert to dollars or euros or whatever and use in your daily lives. So that's the first point. You're not earning yield in some inflated token that eventually will have downside pressure and it'll be worth nothing. You're earning USDC, which also means that the source of revenues is real. It's not like it's some project saying, oh, please stake here. You're locked up for a year. You earn 500% APY in our token. You know, it's not gimmicky. It's the real deal. So I mentioned earlier that you gave your money to a range of protocols. And by you, I mean around the world, people, crypto investors, and they wanted 15, 20, 30% yield a year. Normally their capital was locked up. Sometimes it was not, but most of the time they did not know how the yield was being generated. Yes, you can use, projects would use words like lending or farming and all these other things, but actually When we saw what happened to FTX, it became very clear that the money was being used incorrectly, was being used for prop trading, literally. And sometimes, in some instances, Peter is being robbed to pay Paul. Outright Ponzi schemes, right? And with us, we show you how the money's been made literally right now as we speak. On Uniswap, on 1inch, on the top dexes in the world, people are buying and selling Ethereum, WBTC, and a range of top blockchain digital assets. Now, because of liquidity mining being concentrated, because of the evolution of Uniswap smart contracts, it's possible to be a part of that. You can buy Ethereum, you can buy Bitcoin, all these things on these dexes, but you can also provide liquidity. So if you provide liquidity under certain conditions, you can really squeeze out really good returns per year. And that's what we do. So your capital is parked on the liquidity frontier. We transparently show you where, and you are paid a fee as a liquidity provider. We take a cut from the fee that you are paid. And we have basically 3 tiers. If you are very low risk, you're very, very low risk, and you want to have very little exposure to the price of Bitcoin and Ethereum, then you go for our low risk program, where the returns are approximately 7% a year net, obviously pre-tax, right? So you always declare your taxes come after that, but the returns you get are net of our fees, net of gas and all of that. Then the medium program is same source of yield, but slightly higher risk, slightly higher exposure to underlying cryptos like Ethereum and Bitcoin. And there you are probably going to be getting around 12% yield. The most popular program right now, because as you know, crypto people just love the bigger yield, is Ignite. That for us is our high risk, high return program, where the net yields are around 20 to 30% a year. Now, that being said, volumes are at historical lows. They are really, really low. There's a lot of trepidation in the market, a lot of uncertainty, but also good progress on the fundamental side. But volumes have come down a lot. So right now, all 3 of our programs are actually under the target returns a little bit. So our top program, which should be at 20% plus, is around 16%. But these are still double-digit yields. And you've seen what's happening to Ethereum, Bitcoin. The volatility has reduced a lot. And that's actually good for institutional investors. If you remember, the crazy gyrations is what scared people in the past. So that's basically what we do. We take your capital, we make you into a mini liquidity provider, and that's it. And everything is working in audited smart contracts. We are using smart contracts that have never been hacked, like Uniswap's top smart contract, the version 3. And yeah, that's what we do. We also get a question sometimes. I was in Singapore with my colleagues launching Phoenix last week at the World Blockchain Summit. And they asked as well, if I am someone who knows more about liquidity mining, I can just go to Uniswap or DYDX or 1inch and I can provide liquidity there. And I said, you can, and you should. If you know how to set ranges, if you know how to remove liquidity when there's a major macro event, if you know how to provide asymmetric liquidity, symmetric liquidity, if you understand this in depth and you have the time to do it, then you don't need to use Phoenix. But the thing is, I would say 60-70% of people watching this will probably not have the time, and they prefer passive income. And that's where Phoenix basically comes in.
Very, very nice. Sounds good and sounds logic. Why is there a 1,000 minimum deposit?
Yeah.
$1,000.
Yeah, so this is another one of our legacy issues, like why we launched a Mac and PC app first, which is a weird decision in crypto. Again, the good news is the moment the web-based version is out, which is in 2 to 3 weeks, we have already created the tech necessary to drop the minimum to $50 to $100. So we're going to drop that significantly because we have already, our community in total right now is 1,000 people, international. And then in Brazil, where we started a campaign, we have there around 400 or 500 people, and almost 80% of them have said, we can't deposit 1,000. We don't trust who you are. We don't know who you are. And you're asking us to put 1,000. So we listened to the community and we said, okay, we'll go back and we'll find a way to drop the minimum. Why we had to start with 1,000 is because if you look at the gas fees, here's the thing, Daniel, this is really important. If it was a scam, if it was a Ponzi, we wouldn't have these strange requirements. We would just say put $1 or $2 because we are robbing Peter to pay Paul, right? Or whatever. Because it's gas is involved, to take your liquidity and put it on the liquidity frontier, there are 2 or 3 steps involved. It's part of our IP. To allow you to withdraw your fees daily, or to withdraw your capital, which you can at any time, there's gas fees involved, and we have to pass on that cost to the user. So we have found a way to amortize it over the entire set of pools. And we've done a few tricks where we can reduce the minimum to $100. So again, I would ask your community to wait, join our Telegram channel, ask questions. In a few weeks, all of these
links in description. important. Yeah, this is, I think, the best way. So the one people can say, okay, I start now or I wait. Everything is possible. But I'm also a big fan from, hey, join Telegram group, read the messages, you see something.
Yes.
I looked also in the Telegram group. Is there only bots or is there something happen, real questions and so on? And you see it and you see it's like it's real or it's fake.
Just one more small point, a quick point I would say to this is, if I was using this software, if I was new to this as a new investor, I wouldn't invest 1,000. I would invest maybe 200-300 euros or something like that. And I would track this over the next 6 months, over the year as well, because this is a long-term product. This is not a product that's going to make you 50, 100, 200% return in 3 months. Yeah. It's not like buying a shit coin or a token. This is literally a long-term yield product that competes with what you're earning in the bank, what you're earning with your apartment that you put on rent, or other yield products in the real world. And so just wait, test the product out, even put in less, 100 euros, see how it goes, and then take a call at the end of the year. Are you happy with the returns? Did the product produce what it was promised? And then do that. And so we see that as well. What we have seen so far is the users they start small with the deposits, they see it for a few months, and then typically they choose to top up. So that's
a good thing. Last question from my side, because this is really, really interesting. And I can say everyone should look on the website and read the full history of the team. The team is published on the website and has a impressive history. I read a lot of big companies. Can you please say a few words about the whole team?
So obviously we are a venture capital firm. We have invested in over 80 projects over the last 5 to 6 years across a range of sectors. We do due diligence all of those projects. We also incubate some of our own companies. We advise certain companies. So we understand the mindset of new investors, what they're thinking, what are their concerns, and how do you address those concerns. We come from a predominantly institutional background. If you look at my background, I worked at JP Morgan, at Goldman Sachs for 6 years plus before I became a financial technology entrepreneur. And that's the same thing with my team. We have people who have been to Harvard on our team. Most of us studied at London School of Economics or UCL or top schools. So it's a pretty upper brass team out there. And very importantly, of course, it's transparent. I mean, if you Google us, you can find our LinkedIn profiles. Everyone knows where we live. We also, we have a pretty decent sized community as well that we've built over the years online. So I would say it's the true definition of a doxed team, right? It's not some hidden unknown protocol DAO which can just disappear overnight if shit hits the fan.
It's very nice. Thank you very much. And I will join a short time in German. Leute, checkt es aus. Also schaut euch mal die Website an, klickt euch da mal durch, schaut mal auf die Socials, gerade was LinkedIn betrifft, also auch das ganze Team, wie wir es gerade so schön gehört haben. Es ist alles gedoxt, ihr könnt euch alles durchlesen, lest euch da auch mal rein. Es sind keine exorbitanten Renditen, aber ich hoffe auch mal, dass die Leute endlich checken, dieses Schnellwerde-Reich-System, was jeder sucht, das gibt's nicht. Das gibt es einfach nicht. Könnt ihr euch auf den Kopf stellen und sagen, wow, voll krass, will ich haben, gibt's nicht. Werdet ihr nicht finden. Wenn ihr langfristig denkt, dann hat das definitiv Potenzial, weil ihr seht hier auch, und das kann ich mal als Lob auch dem Founder aussprechen, der uns ja auch verstehen kann. Das Ding ist einfach, da wird kein Hype produziert. Da ging es jetzt wirklich mal drum, ernsthaft drüber zu sprechen. Und wenn ihr da schon hört, hey, checkt es für euch aus, gebt mir ein paar Euro rein, probiert es dann aus, dann seht ihr mehr. Wo hört man das bei solchen Halbprojekten? Also macht euch da mal wirklich Gedanken drum. Und wie gesagt, alle Socials sind unten in den Kommentaren mit dabei. Beziehungsweise auch natürlich, wenn ihr noch weitere Fragen habt, haut's in die Kommentare rein. Wir können da immer Rücksprache erhalten. Wenn die Kommunikation weitergehen soll, kommt bei uns in die Telegram-Gruppe auch gerne mit rein. Stellt da auch eure Fragen und wir leiten es weiter oder eben direkt im offiziellen Kanal. Also von der Seite vielen lieben Dank, dass ihr euch das Interview schon mal komplett reingezogen habt. Und wir schauen einfach mal, je nachdem, wie die Fragen dann so reinkommen, dass wir da einfach nochmal ein Update-Video machen und auch zum Beispiel die ganze Plattform nochmal vorstellen. Vielen, vielen Dank von meiner Seite. Und wir sehen uns garantiert im nächsten Update.
Dankeschön.